how I feel about this next story? Anyway, let me just tell you. So Albie Shaw is shaming his son Quincy, trying to force Quincy to go back to him, right? All over the sudden, Albie Shaw now has the guts to speak up. Clearly, this guy has been terrified and afraid of Diddy for the longest time, because we've never heard this man speak up as much as he is right now, or fight for his son as much as he is right now. But I don't agree the approach or the methods he's taking into bringing back his son to him, right? So he decides, like, this is so disheartening. And to me, it's proving that he's not a good father figure, not like Diddy ever was. I mean, clearly, Diddy was not a good father, right? People are trying to say that Diddy may have been a great dad, but a bad person to other people. I disagree. Absolutely not. He was bad, period. He was not a good father. He was not a good boyfriend. He was not a good boss. He was not a good employer. He was not a good friend, right? There is absolutely no way you can separate the two. Why? Look at where he is right now, and look at what his children are going through. He should have thought of his children. A good father thinks about what he does. Once you have children, I mean, you get to live your life, but you get to watch what you do. And he never changed. Apparently, he was still having freak-offs through 2024. They found 1,000 bottles of, I wanted to say olive oil. They found 1,000 bottles of baby oil. But anyway, so let's go back to what Albie Shaw is doing, trying to shame his son. And I don't think it's going to work, right? And the fact that Quincy is 33 years old, he's not a kid, he's not a child, he may have been brainwashed, he may have been groomed by Diddy, whatever it is, this is not how you bring your son back to you. But anyway, so Albie Shaw says, free Quincy. He's posting this, right, on his Instagram Reels, and seemingly suggests he's suffering from Stockholm Syndrome after Quincy and his siblings released a statement saying their mother wasn't taken out, right? Let's read that statement before we talk about how he's shaming his own son. It's terrible. He's not a good father. Let's read. Okay, so all of Kim's children, Quincy, Christian, and the twins. I don't know the twins' names. But anyway, so I'm going to be reading from my laptop. So it says, they said, we have seen so many hurtful things and false rumors circulating about our parents, Kim Porter and Sean Combs' relationship, as well as our mother's tragic passing, that we feel the need to speak out. Claims that our mother wrote a book are simply untrue. She did not, and anyone claiming to have a manuscript is misrepresenting themselves. Additionally, please understand that any so-called friend speaking on behalf of our mom or her family is not a friend, nor do they have her best interests at heart, which I do agree, okay? They go on to say, our lives were shattered when we lost our mother. She was our world, and nothing has been the same since she passed. While it has been incredibly difficult to reconcile how she could be taken away from us too soon, the cause of her death has long been established. There was no foul play. Grief is a lifelong process, and we ask that everyone respects our request for peace as we continue to cope with her loss every day. We are deeply saddened that the world has made a spectacle of what has been the most tragic event of our lives. Our mother should be remembered for the beautiful, strong, kind, and loving woman she was. Her memory should not be tainted by horrific conspiracy theories. We ask that everybody please respect our mother, Kim Porter, and hold her legacy in high regard so she may rest in peace. It's what she deserves. We love you and miss you, Mommy. Quincy, Christian, Jesse, and Delilah. Those are Kim's 4 children. also Diddy's 4 children with Kim, but only 3 of those are Diddy's biological children. Quincy is actually Albie Shaw's son. Kim was married to Albie Shaw when she was only 19, I believe. The marriage did not work out, but they did have Quincy. She went on to meet Diddy, and then they had Christian, and then the twins. But anyway, since the trouble began with Diddy, since Cassie filed that lawsuit back in 2023, I believe November, Albie Shaw has suddenly got the courage to speak out against Diddy. And he hasn't stopped, right? Today, he posts to his Instagram reel saying that his son Quincy is suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. And then he points to a video back then when I think Diddy was playing around. You know, people have been asking, where's Diddy's daughter? Where's the white daughter Diddy adopted? I don't think Diddy officially adopted that girl. I may be wrong, but I just think they were playing around. I don't think it's real.
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Eva Baroni Combs? Yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents but you're my child also. But please tell the story.
But anyway, Albie Shaw is pointing to that video, and you can see it's actually 3 people in that video. You have Diddy on the right, the girl in the middle, and Quincy to the left, a little bit in the background, right? And they're just smiling. According to Albie Shaw, you can see that Quincy has Stockholm Syndrome, right? He says, look at poor Stockholm victim Quincy in the background, pointing, you son, and then it says hashtag free Quincy. Now, I don't know if this is the right approach, even if you think he has Stockholm Syndrome. And I believe Stockholm Syndrome is, it's not scientific or medically, it's not something they can diagnose you with, right? But it's something that's widely known and used sometimes, especially when it comes to victims or people who've been captured, where the victim takes sympathy of their abuser or their captor and starts to love the person who abuses them or love the people who kidnap them. Mostly you find this with people who've been kidnapped for a long time. They know they've been kidnapped. It's not like they're delusional that they don't know. But for some reason, they start to create an attachment to the person who kidnapped them, and they start to defend that person. So what Albie Shaw is saying, that's the same thing we're seeing with Quincy. Quincy loves Diddy as a father figure, even though he believes that Diddy has groomed Quincy. He's under the assumption or believes that Quincy has gone through terrible things. Quincy has seen terrible things. But because he's suffering from this Stockholm Syndrome, he feels bad for the person that was abusing him, right? So could that be true? Yeah, it could be true. But I just don't think you want to do this publicly. You're shaming your son, right? Saying he's got some condition. And maybe it's true. I don't know. But the problem people have with Albie Shaw was, why now? Why are you fighting for your son in 2024? Your son is 33 years old. What happened to all these years before he turned 33 or even 30? Why were you never there? Some people say, what? He couldn't have been. Allegedly, Diddy almost took him out. Remember, guys, he got so sick, he fell into a coma, and he survived. He claims he was poisoned by Diddy, right? And so some people are like, yes, he didn't want to keep on pushing. He was afraid he was going to die or something was going to happen to his son because Diddy was not going to give him his son. So he decided to just like, look here, let me save my life, save my son's life, and save Kimberly's life. Unfortunately, Kimberly, passed away. That's what one side says. The other side says, no, Al Bishaw is a bad dad. He's a deadbeat dad because it's not only Quincy he was not there for. He has other children that he was never there for. And they claim that there's actually a documentary, I think on VH1, where he himself says he regrets not being there for all of his children. So if it was only Quincy that he was not there for, we could understand, knowing the monster that Diddy is. But what's his explanation for the other kids? I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? I agree with that theory that he's just not a good father. I actually think he's using his son for clout, right? He may truly love his son, and he's just using. Most of us never even knew who this guy was. Honestly, I didn't until in the last year or so. I promised you, I didn't even know who Al Bishaw was. I didn't even know Quincy was not Diddy's biological child. Didn't know that. But anyway, what else did I want to point out? And I'm going to play the video for you guys to see exactly what I'm talking about. And I feel so sad for these. Do I feel sad for the kids? Right now, they are saying that Diddy's kids are having a very difficult time coping and accepting that their father is in prison. Like, well, talk to your father about why he did what he did, right? I think I may feel sorry for the girls, especially, but the boys, Quincy used to be at Diddy's white parties. Justin or his other boys who are adults, they used to be at those parties. They've seen things. If not, they've participated in those things. So I don't feel sorry for them. Maybe the girls, right? He has what? 4 girls and I don't know how many boys. 3? 4, I don't know, 3 boys, I guess. 1, 2. Yeah, he has 3 boys. But anyway, so I don't know. What do you guys think about Al Bishaw basically saying his son is been groomed, brainwashed, and is suffering from Stockholm Syndrome, where he accepts his abuser as a father figure? I think it's true. I just don't like the approach. Anyway, here's the video where he references that, and let's talk about it in the comment section down below.